Governor DeSantis told reporters this week that he did meet with President Trump, and they basically just discussed, support, DeSantis's obvious support for Trump after DeSantis's failed presidential run. If you've got a Trump-DeSantis ticket, you've got a no-brainer. You've got a winning ticket. You guarantee a substantive victory in November of 2024. But hey, let's go with what they're saying right now. J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, Doug Burgum, or Tim Scott. I think Trump is real tight with North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. I think that they are very simpatico. I don't know about him as far as the vice. I like that, what that caller just said. You got to look beyond 2024. Who's going to be the president in 2028? I sure like 12 years of Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis MAGA-ism. I mean, that is music to my ears. 800-655-Mike. Kevin's in Florida. Kevin, welcome. How are you?
Good, Mike. Me and my wife are listening to you from O'Brien, Florida.
Nice. Thank you. Tell your wife hi.
She's listening.
Good.
So,
hi.
We're no way Marco Rubio. We don't want him. J.D. Vance, and we are warming back up to Ron DeSantis.
Tell me, I was just talking to the team about Marco Rubio on the break. Tell me what you don't like about Senator Rubio.
Well, I was stationed here most of my Navy career.
Yes, sir.
And I've watched his career. I'm not a big child tax credit person. Every time you come around for that, he wants to raise it. Mm-hmm. It's like I'm paying to raise other people's kids.
I see.
And he is a big child tax credit advocate.
Gotcha.
And to me, he's on the fence of being a rhino. I just do not like him at all.
And I've heard that before from critics of Marco Rubio. And again, thank you and your wife very much. I appreciate you guys a lot. I've heard that before. Maybe it has a lot to do with Ukraine. Where is Marco Rubio on Ukraine? He's all about Ukraine, right? Here's a big article from a few years ago from Bloomberg, why Marco Rubio is Florida's not so favorite son. They complain that he hasn't spent enough time in Florida. Now, this is pretty old. That's pretty dated. But, I think I'd be intrigued. I think he's all about, the label neocon might come to mind with some. I like the guy. I've interviewed him a few times. And he's smart. He's focused. And he's, for me, pretty conservative guy. But maybe, listen, J.D. Vance, if you're an America firster, you love that guy. If you want to put America first the way Trump does, so picture that. 4 years of Donald Trump, 8 years of President J.D. Vance. What about Tim Scott? Is Tim Scott strong enough, tough enough to handle the duties of the Oval Office? I mean, this is very real, not only beyond 2024, but you just got to think about Trump's vice presidential running mate as what it looks like, what it feels like for that person to be in the Oval Office. Jill is in north of Detroit, Michigan. Hey, Jill, welcome to the Mike Gallagher Show. Who do you like?
I'm going with J.D. Vance, and I like him because he is super smart. He's just wonderful.
Well, you want to hear how smart he is, Jill? I don't mean to cut you short, but I want to get this clip in. So listen, and thank you very much for sharing with us who you like. Here's J.D. Vance. He appeared on CNN with Caitlin Collins, and wow, you want to talk about taking somebody out to the woodshed? Senator Vance takes the anchor from CNN out to the woodshed and then some.
we know that there are threats to American democracy. I think the biggest threat to American democracy, Caitlin, is that the Biden administration is trying to prevent Donald Trump from campaigning and taking his case to the American people, even as they hide their own candidate.
That's presiding over that case. The Biden administration is not preventing Donald Trump from campaigning. He just did two campaign events tonight.
This is a really important point, Caitlin. Who is the number 3 person from the Biden Department of Justice who went to work for the New York prosecutor just months before he brought this case against Donald Trump? You can't have people moving from the Biden administration to prosecute Donald Trump in New York and say it has nothing to do with the Biden administration, especially when the judge is the Biden administration donor.
Attorneys go from the Justice Department to local DA's offices all the time. That's not that unusual. I mean, you're an attorney. You know that.
It's pretty unusual.
Probably have colleagues who went to Yale with you that did that.
It's pretty unusual for the number 3 person in the Department of Justice to then go to the New York prosecutor's office to bring a bogus case against Donald Trump, and then to have the judge presiding over that case to be a donor to Biden-Harris. I think that's pretty unusual, Caitlin, and really is, aside from your views or anyone else's views about Donald Trump, this is a real threat to Americans' trust in the legal system.
That's how it's done. And I love the anchor. Oh, there's nothing unusual about that. Yeah, right. Nice try, lady. There's nothing unusual about the Democrats trying to throw their Republican rival and the guy who's likely going to beat their butts in prison. Nothing to see here. Move along.